Check it out. It's absolutely game time right now. Welcome to a very special edition. That's right. And when I say special edition, I mean special edition, Garrain Jones. Very special edition of Unselfish Behavior Podcast right here. What a mogul. That's right. We talking about a world changer, y'all. We talking about somebody that's astronomical, an absolute beacon of the world. I can't put him in a box. I can't talk about that he just influences society or communities. No, this man is a world changer right here. We're talking about #1 selling author right now of the book, Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life. The one and only Garrain Jones.
Damn.
Huh? You like that?
Yo, fire me up, bro.
My God. My God.
You just said a whole bunch of adjectives
I've
never heard
Hey,
before.
we here. We ain't going nowhere. We right here. We about to build, man. Very honored to be here. I ain't seen you in a few years, brother.
Right.
And for those out there, man, that don't know, I've been knowing this good brother. I met him at a seminar probably about 3 years ago. And you've definitely been somebody, man, that's inspired me in my life and my journey, just on all spectrums. So I feel like this interview was bound to happen, but obviously timing is everything.
Absolutely.
And we right here at one of the most beautiful places in your life, and we're gonna obviously dive into that. But the first thing that I want to do before I jump into any dialogue with any guest that I have on my podcast is allowing the guest to have the floor for those out there that don't know who you are, what you do. Just talk a little bit about to the people in regards to who you are, what you do, and what you stand for.
Okay, so first off, man, thank you, and I acknowledge you for creating a platform for people and stories like mine to actually be heard.
Absolutely.
For so many years, I didn't think my story mattered. So for the fact that you said, you know what, I'm going to create a podcast so that I can highlight stories.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So my name is Garrain Jones, and I'm 40 years old. I know it doesn't look like
That
it.
boy in here looking all of 22.
40 is a new 20 if you're healthy.
That's right.
So
there we go.
My name is Garrain Jones, and 8 years ago I lived in my car for 2.5 years. Tried to kill myself twice. Lowest point of my life, 40 pounds overweight. Pretty much ruined a relationship with my daughter. We didn't have a relationship for 15 years. Girlfriend had just broke up with me. My mom was dying in the hospital, so there was so many different things that was going on, and I didn't know at that time why I needed to stay alive. And then I would say it was in August at 3:43 in the morning. I had my moment of surrender. I cried and I cursed and I just yelled. And I was just like, okay, I'm tired of fighting. I don't want to fight anymore. I just want to be healthy. I want to be happy. I want to be surrounded by nothing but positive people. And I just want to inspire people, and I want to make a bunch of money, but I want the money to represent something that I passionately believe in, that I would do for free. Just show me a sign. And a week later, I was at the gas station with my last $2, and I met a homeless guy who asked me for money. And I said, he said, do you have any money? I said, you have more money than me. And he said, change your mindset, change your life.
Come on now.
Boom. It was the first time I'd ever heard words that stopped me in my tracks and made me think about life. And in that moment, I said to myself, change your mindset, change it. So if my mind is set on something, then that's why the result is what it is. So if I do different with the same circumstance, my life will change. So 8 years, I'm 8 years removed from the habitual nature that I had been patterning myself since I was a child. Because humans we're habitual
Facts.
creatures by nature. I'm 8 years removed from that one phrase, change your mindset, change your life. So on the other side of everything I would never do came a life that I always wanted. Married to my soulmate now, got the relationship back with my daughter.
Love it.
Helped my mother lose 90 pounds.
Oh, come
my
on.
mom is alive now, rock climbing, about to launch her eyewear line. Homeowner, I don't live in my car anymore, travel around the world speaking. The last 5 years I've spoken to 62 different countries. Just released a book on the whole change your mindset, change your life philosophy. It went #1 bestseller in 3 different categories in 7 days. Real estate development. And basically living life on my own terms rather than telling me how I'm going to live my life. So this whole entire deal is around someone who just wanted to get to the end of his life so that I wouldn't have to have any regrets. So my intention for this podcast today is that everyone out here watching, something sparks that will change the trajectory of their entire life so that when they get to their last physical breath, they left it all on the table.
That's right.
And they have 0 regrets in life.
That's absolutely right.
And that is me.
Come on now. That's Garrain Jones. Look, you got to understand what's going on. One of the things that just came to my mind while I'm hearing you talk was the word freedom. It just kept replaying in my mind.
Yeah.
Freedom, freedom, freedom. And when you said living life on your own terms,
Yeah.
there's so many people out here, Garrain Jones, that feel like they're required to live in a box according to what they've been told their whole lives.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we're told limiting beliefs by the people that are closest to us growing up.
Yeah.
Right? So it's from our parents, it's from our friends, it's from our, classmates, it's from this, it's from that, it's from television, right? And I take a lot of pride in just speaking to those people, speaking life into those that are dead in a sense in regards to their perspective and how they view life and their mindset. What do you say to the people out there that are struggling as we speak in regards to believing in that thing they know they're being called to do based off them seeking validation, if you will, from people that are most closest to them? Because for me, Garrain, I've had a lot of people, my brother, and I know I just asked you a question, but this is how my mind works. I've had a lot of people that I've talked to that have said, I know there's something in me, but I live with my mom, so I can't do it. Or I don't have the money, so I can't do it. Or I don't have this, so I can't do it. Or I don't have the team, so I can't do it. I don't have the means in order to do it. What do you say to the people out there that have a calling in their life? They know they have a calling, but their mindset tells them they don't have the means in order to execute what they're being called to do.
Well, one, you can't change what you're not aware of. So most people who say that, they're not aware of any kind of tools or principles or any other conversations or mentorship. They're not aware. And I truly believe that people are doing the best they can with what they know, but maybe they just have very limited tools. So what I say to everyone is, like, life cannot deny someone who gives their absolute all. And if you could look at yourself in the mirror and say, I've given it my absolute all, then come to me and be like, what's a step? Did you give it your all? Well, what do you mean? Can you give me an example? Here's an example. I'm living in my car. I was $250,000 in debt, saying I need some money. My boy Chris goes, he was like, write a whole list of everything that you love to do and then everything that you're good at. And I want you to come over to my house every single day. We're going to go on Craigslist and I want you to email 15 people a day looking for opportunities to make money.
That's right.
I found out I'm great at car washing. I'm great at mowing lawns. I'm great at singing. So I was doing singing telegrams. I could babysit. All these different things, and I just do it over and over and over and over and over. Then my mom goes, why don't you do something in health and fitness? You love to help people.
Look at that.
And I didn't listen. My girlfriend at the time, you should do something in health and fitness. But they saw me every day. I'm looking for this. Do you know of anything? And I was out there. I didn't know it at the time, but I was out there giving it my absolute all. Mind you, I was $200,000 in debt and I had no home.
Wow.
So even in the midst of all of that, I was still working people out for free. At Runyon Canyon, I was taking people hiking with no money, no home, and I would show up every single Saturday, nonstop. 90 people, 100 people going to their homes charging, and I wasn't charging zero money, but I was doing it for free. Why? Because it was bringing me a lot of passion and love.
Yeah.
And what I feel is I proved to the universe that it wasn't about the money. And when I passed that test, that's when I was blessed immeasurably because I filled up my own cup first.
That's right.
And think about it, if you were a cup right now, and then I was pouring, I reached the tipping point, and then I poured another drop, where would it go?
Overpour.
It would overpour. It would overflow.
Yeah.
Most people spend their whole lives pouring in, pouring out, pouring in, pouring out. They never experience overflow, which is AKA abundance. They never experience that because it's got to start in you first. So I inadvertently proved to myself that this is what I really wanted to do. It wasn't about the money. I was already doing it for free.
That's right.
I had 125 personal development videos out called The Storage while I was living in my storage because they had good lighting, kind of like this lighting right here.
Right.
But nobody knew that.
Gotcha.
So now it's so funny. The other day, somebody was like, oh yeah, it's easy for you to say you make all that money. I was like, bro, I've been saying this since 2009 when I was living in my storage.
Facts.
Same stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all are just catching up. You go look at my old videos.
Facts. You're saying the same thing.
I've been saying change your mindset, change your life since 2011. I've been saying purpose over everything since 2005.
I love it.
So people are just seeing the overflow of what I poured 8 years ago. But they're looking at what I'm doing now as what's this. No. Look at 8 years ago.
Facts.
What I want you to look at is 8 years from now from what I'm doing now.
Come on now.
Yeah, bro.
Ain't that huge?
Yeah. So if you really believe in it, if you really, really, really believe in it, then you do it at all costs.
Facts. Nothing can stop you. And for me, that's the difference between here we go. I'm gonna tell you something, Garrain, that I tell a lot of people that I believe very strongly in. There's a huge difference between chasing a dream and walking in purpose.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And when I realized that, because for me, I was homeless as well. I was homeless half of 2017. They know my story. Half of 2017, all of 2018. The biggest thing that being homeless taught me was two things. My sense of gratitude for the littlest of things. Because when you don't have a home, you're not missing the roof necessarily. You're missing the tiny, tiny, tiny things, like being able to walk in your own bathroom.
Right.
Like being able to put your shoes at your door. Like being able to have covers.
Yeah.
Like having a pillow. Like I was missing
having a soft pillow.
Having a soft pillow, my brother. You know, and not having to go take showers at gyms or make
24-hour fitness.
I was at Planet Fitness, man, and taking showers in there. And mind you, I didn't have a gym membership. So when I was homeless, I was calling friends that had gym memberships to see if they could meet me at their gym just so I can come in as a guest to take a shower. So for me, one thing that taught me, bro, was the visions that I was having during my homelessness in regards to seeing me do things on a world scale, on a global scale. It had to do with influencing others, but I didn't really know how it was going to look.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of alluded to it earlier. I didn't know fully how it was going to look. But a lot of my visions were me on stage and me impacting people, and me in different countries, and mind you, I've never been overseas even to this day. But these visions, when I was experiencing my homelessness, my rock bottom, they were extremely, extremely powerful. And you know what I realized when I was homeless? What the fuck am I going to be talking to these people about in these visions? It's this process I'm going through right now.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
This process is a requirement in order for that to manifest. And so for me, I tell people all the time, stop running from discomfort. Stop saying you want something that's astronomical, but yet you're not willing to do anything or sacrifice anything or go through anything or adjust anything throughout your process, but yet you want all of this to happen. People can meet you just like they do till this day and judge my brother based off his success. And having no idea what you've been through on the adversity scale.
That's why I talk about it.
You must talk about it.
Yeah, that's why I talk. Listen, if you don't know how Superman got his powers, I can see how people would never follow him. But you see what happened to his family. You see how he got his. I've never seen a superhero where you don't know how they got their.
That's huge.
Their powers.
That's huge, actually.
So my vulnerability in sharing my truth, my comfort.
That's right.
creates a space for so many other people, even if they haven't physically been homeless, but they might have been homeless in the mind because they might be lost.
There we go.
I spent 2.5 years in a French prison, but you didn't have to have gone to prison to be locked up at a job that that you don't like. You still in prison, locked up.
Y'all listening,
locked up in a relationship that you don't want to be in, and you choose to stay in it. In prison. So. By me sharing my story and my come from, it allows people to reflect and say, me too. And I just want to get as many me toos. So once I got buy-in from billions of people, all I'm going to do is lead them to themselves. Because it's not about me. I'm only reminding you of what your soul already knows.
There we go.
Like when somebody reads a book, I was like, oh my God, it gave me so much. No, a book will remind you of something that's already inside of you that you are yet aware of.
There we go.
So my role on this planet is just to be a mirror for people so that they can reflect on themselves. People be like, you changed my life. Listen, I showed you a new perspective. You changed your life.
There we go.
You get to keep that power.
You made that decision, ultimately. That's huge. That's in alignment with the way that I think, especially on my journey. For me, I feel like such a baby in this life. And I say that to say, I constantly want to be in student mode.
Yeah.
I never want to get to a space. That's one of my biggest fears, actually. I never want to get to a space in this life at any age, at any level of success. I never want to feel like I have this whole thing figured out.
Oh yeah, it's done. You're done.
Yeah, you're completely done. And for me, I'm always in sponge mode. I'm always in student mode. And I've learned a lot of that from you. You know why? You carry a big sense of a big energy that just says humility, right? Obviously, it's very easy for people to judge you based off the physical and the tangible stuff, right? Like even having a book. Someone's writing a book right now that's going to be watching this. And it's very easy for someone to say, wow, well, he's done this, so it's easy for you to say because you're experiencing success, right? But no, you have to be able to know the story. And I take a lot of pride in being unselfish, hence the name Unselfish Behavior Podcast. You gotta understand what's going on, my guy. And the reason I say that is because that name was inspired from my perspective on gifts.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that God did not give each individual on this planet a gift to hone in and keep to ourselves. Absolutely. I believe that every single person on this planet, and I do mean every single person on this planet, has something to contribute towards another individual's life. And if you're consciously choosing not to do that based off fear, based off comfort, then you're selfish.
It's funny because I have a chapter in my book that talks all about it. We weren't created to be keepers. We were created to be givers. Even we got holes all over our body. Everything is designed for something to come out. Our mouth, our nose, urine,
even our pores,
bile, pores, sweat, throw up when there's poison, secrets. Everything is designed to come out.
Everything. That's real.
You can't even hold the water that you drunk. It's gotta come out. If you held your breath, you will eventually die. So we weren't created to be keepers. We were created to be givers. So that's why the most successful people in the world are the most cheerful givers in the world.
Yeah, I hear a lot of that too. And for me, you don't even, this is why I try to tell people, you don't even necessarily have to be quote unquote successful from a financial standpoint in order to give abundantly.
Your energy is worth more than your money.
Way more. And I'm trying to drive this point home to people. I feel like I talk about it every single episode. My brother B Visuals knows this. You have so much to offer people. You have a story, you have testimony, you have experiences that you've been through in your life. And for me, again, I know for a fact that my purpose on here is such an alignment with yours. And you're one of the first people that told me that you attract what you are, you don't attract what you want. You were in that realm, and we obviously did a seminar together, and you spoke something that was kind of in alignment with that. And it just gave new perspective. I want to shift gears a little bit to something that you're very passionate about talking about, and that's comfort zone.
Okay.
I watched the video with you, Garrain, and you gave a beautiful analogy. I'm not sure if you remember. I'm sure you remember it. It was like of a dog and like a dog collar. And like training a dog, and then when you take the collar off, he doesn't realize that he's free, but he's yet still. So if you could break down just kind of your idea behind the importance of stepping outside of your comfort zone, but most importantly, living outside of your comfort zone
Yeah.
and the benefits that come with such decision?
Well, Jim Rohn says the essence of life is growth. And, it's my ultimate purpose. You see, there's a mission that I'm on, but my ultimate purpose is to actually be the fullest expression of myself.
Love it.
So when I look at trees, they grow to their max. They produce as much fruit as they possibly can.
Facts.
Birds fly as high as they can.
Facts.
When I look at nature in itself, it is growing to its max.
Facts.
Humans are the only life form who chooses not to grow to their max. I'm not talking about size because you don't have control of that part.
Facts.
But the growing of your mind. I don't feel like waking up. I don't want to do this because we have choice. I choose not to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. So there's no growth inside of that. So when I wanted to have this village over in Africa. I wanted to have, my youth foundation, all these. Oh, this is my purpose. This is my purpose. And then once I started chasing, or start being and living to immerse myself into the fullest expression of Garrain, even the Garrain that's 5 years out. It was the kind of person that was impacting millions, that was writing books, that was
Love it.
had the charities, and all this donating and all kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, I got it. Okay, so that makes sense, because me 5 years from now, while continuously growing and being the fullest expression, and then being on a mission.
Got you. There we go.
So me being on a mission while immersing myself into the fullest expression of myself, I decided that my purpose was to live the fullest expression of the realm of Garrain, the parts that I know and don't know. And then the mission that I'm on is to reach every human so I could create spaces and avenues for them to see their natural born God-given talent, so that they can actually use it and produce an extraordinary result, produce extraordinary results in their life.
Absolutely.
And once I got on that,
game over. Game over.
Everything became more peaceful and calm. Cause see, when you're grounded in your purpose, you don't get distracted in everything else. It demagnetizes everything else.
Got you.
That's why people's like, man, I just got caught up in this and I got caught up. Yeah, because you don't have a purpose. Once I knew my purpose, now my foundation was so strong. When you got a strong foundation, you can build anything on top of that. And because I had a chief aim, it was easy for me not to fall into that, because this was generating too much power.
What I just thought about right now when you just said that was, we live in an age right now, Garrain, do you agree, to where people glamorize being busy over productive?
Yeah, bro.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
A hashtag I see all the time on social media, booked and busy. I'm booked and busy. I'm booked and busy. I learned this from Michael Todd, famous pastor. You know Michael Todd, huh? Love that brother. He said, you can be busy your whole entire life and never fulfill your purpose from being down here. You can be busy your whole life and never fulfill purpose. That hit me in a whole different way. One thing though, I want to switch a little bit, still in the same realm, but authenticity is the biggest word that comes to my mind when I talk to you.
Yeah.
Because I've known you now for a few years. I've obviously watched you from afar. You've not changed one bit since the moment I met you. Literally. And I tell people all the time, your power is in you just being who you are naturally. You have to learn to gain the momentum and to gain the confidence to freely express without worrying about people's opinions, worrying about what people are going to say, worrying about if people are going to like how you talk or how you dress or how your hair is or this and that, and just freely expressing who you are naturally. That is the definition of authenticity. What's kind of your vision in regards to making sure that everything Garrain Jones touches, it's a reflection of his authenticity?
Well, I want to take it back a little bit. I got bullied a lot just growing up in Missouri City, just because I was different. And during that time, different wasn't socially accepted. That I was an outcast. Gotcha. The way that I spoke, the way that I dressed, the different kids, they just didn't have friends because that wasn't a place where there was a lot of uniqueness going on.
Gotcha.
And there was just something about it. I remember my mom, she would always say, you need to cut your hair. Why aren't you you got to wear clothes that match, and you got to do this, and you should do this. And I just got tired of being shitted on. And I was little, but I didn't even know. One day I snapped. And you don't just snap at no black woman like that.
Come on now. Yeah, you ain't
I used to get whoopings all the time.
Yeah.
Paddles,
I'm right with you.
buckles, everything. So
I'm right with you.
I snapped in a way, and I said, Mom, ask me if I love it. And I didn't even know what I was saying. I was young. I was a shorty. But now connecting the dots, going backwards, I realized that was me fighting for my own freedom. Most people get trapped in the domestication of how mom and dad raised them, or whoever their authority figures are.
Agreed.
That's why it runs in the family is a typical saying.
Facts.
Because people, they tend to follow the money patterns of mom, the money patterns of dad, domestic violence, the alcohol, the drugs, and all these different things.
Also huge in that.
Not all the time, but most of the time.
Most of the time, I agree.
And so for me, I'd always been the outcast even in my own family. At the time, my brother never wanted to really hang out with me. My mom was always at work, so I was always by myself. And I had to find ways to keep myself occupied. And with that, I started inadvertently developing a relationship with myself.
There we go, without even realizing.
So over time, and where it started to change is when I got busted for smuggling drugs from 2000 in 2002, and I spent 2002 to 2005 in a French prison. When I was in there, I wrote over 125 letters to people, friends. Only 5 people wrote me back. So what that tells me is what that told me was nobody's gonna come save you. You gotta learn to love yourself.
That's right.
And I didn't know what that was doing. So when I got on this transformation tip, I started learning that self-love was a big thing, but I had already had 18 years of self-love under my belt once I connected the dots.
Facts.
So then it's like, yo, how can you maintain peace? How can you maintain this? And like, wow, you don't get crazy when somebody said, I was like, listen, I don't want to throw fire on somebody who's already burning.
Come on, Garrain.
So I'm just gonna leave it, because they gotta look at themselves in the mirror every single day. When I look in the mirror, I see pride. I see love. I see I'm proud of you, Garrain. You have done it.
There we go.
You see what I'm saying? But I don't see an inauthentic version of myself.
That's right.
Ever.
That's right.
And when I do, my wife checks me.
Come on now. And
I appreciate her.
What you doing? Why you say that like that? Why you do that like that? Because you know the real you. Yeah, hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that over time, I've learned that the greatest way that my greatest gift to you is for me to give you who I really am.
That's right.
That's the greatest gift that you can give to the world.
That's right. I love it.
And I'm gonna leave it with this: the bird is not the alligator. If the bird were to try to be the alligator, something that it's not, you could see how life would be difficult.
Facts.
The bird is just using everything that's already inside of it, and then it flies.
There we go.
But it wouldn't make sense to an alligator.
There we go.
However, the alligator is using everything that's already inside of it, and then it swims and it does these things. It ain't gonna make sense to me if I'm trying to be something that I'm not. But when I'm being Garrain and using everything that's already inside of me, flow, abundance, attraction, light in the world of darkness, that's where people will look. Because I'm a power generator, generating my own power.
Just naturally, instinctively following what you know you are. I attest that to, a lot of times people will call it higher self. A lot of people call it God in regards to what intuition is.
Yeah.
Right? That voice inside of you that tells you to go left, that tells you to go right, that tells you to pull out, that tells you to leave them alone, that tells you this room don't fill. You right?
Yeah.
What do you attest intuition to? It's a fascinating topic for me to talk about just because there's so many different ideologies on what that is.
Yeah.
I believe it's God. I believe it's higher self. I believe all of that is one.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Well, here's the thing. It's like this.
What do you think?
I've been told God is in any and all things.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
So if I say universe, if I say higher self,
there we go.
It's still connected to the same thing. But here's the thing. There's some people, they like to get on me that was like, well, you should just, don't tell me what I should say.
There we go.
These words are coming out of my mouth.
I love it. I love it.
And I talk how I talk.
That's right.
We wasn't grown.
That's
we didn't
right.
grow up the same way.
That's right.
So I'm not going to, even if I'm reading scripture out of a Bible, I'm going to interpret it the way that Garrain is going to interpret it, not the way in which you're telling me to.
There we go.
Because I'm not a puppet. Not even to the Bible. Like,
that's right.
I love the word, but it's not the actual pages.
Yeah.
It's the spirit.
Facts. Facts.
It's the spirit. So, I can get real deep in this.
No, I'm with you. The reason I'm laughing is because I just said earlier, there's nothing. Talk to me about the importance of everything that you touch and experience representing your authenticity. Yeah. Garrain is saying, I'm not adjusting my authenticity even if I'm reading the Bible.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And but that's the thing. It's like I'm reading it, and then all of a sudden something takes over me. I'm actually paying more attention to what's taken over me, and that is evoking something that's inside of me. My higher self, God, the universe. Yeah, but I typically say God. I'll say all these different things.
Same here.
Here's the deal. The spirit at which any word is coming out of my mouth is the most important thing.
Facts.
It ain't no dead spirit. It ain't empty.
Facts.
It ain't negative.
Facts.
It's something that's been sent to heal and love and forgive and let go of resentment and all these different things. And because I connect to it in that way, not like it's something that's out there, it's actually the universe out there is a reflection of the universe in here. So if they say God is in any and all things, well then that must mean I'm God too.
Yep, God's in you too. It don't exclude you. That's for damn
I can't exclude myself.
That's facts.
Because when I did, that's when I was homeless.
That's facts.
So
people are afraid of that though, I think.
But they're afraid of it because there's so many different things and it gets hit so many different ways. And the thing about it is if you don't stand on your own 2 feet and you live for other people's opinions, you'll never be whole.
Yeah, you'll lose.
You'll never be whole, and you'll always be chasing for approval from other people.
Yeah. When
you should be actually, you could actually approve of yourself.
Facts. Self-validation is powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of this stuff that we're talking about is learned behavior that people learn over time. When I first spoke to you in your crib, you gave me an analogy about, you said, Q, if somebody gave you some poison, remember you telling me that, my brother? You said, Q, if somebody gave you some poison, found out I forgot exactly how you said it. How you break it down for the people. You said, basically, if you drunk poison, what would be the first thing you want to do? I would say spit it out. And then you compare that to the things that we've been taught throughout our life. And that life is about unlearning. Talk to the people a little bit about the importance of unlearning the things that you've been taught in order to reach new heights and new levels and new perspectives.
Well, it's a difficult thing to just say, unlearn what you know.
Facts.
Because if you've been speaking English your whole life, and I just have this book on Japanese, you would have to want to speak Japanese. It would be by request.
There we go.
Then if you start seeking, pay close attention to the word seeking. Then if you were seeking to learn Japanese and then you came to me and said, will you teach me Japanese? Now, by request, you have granted me the opportunity to share with you how to understand different levels of things because you actually want it.
Facts.
But I'm not gonna go around and say you need to grow, you need to grow, you need to. That's how you throw people off.
Facts.
You know, so with that, it comes per request. Like if somebody comes to my seminar and they paid to come to the seminar,
Come on.
oh yeah, you about to get hit.
Come on.
In every way.
That part.
Physically, spiritually, realmly, something's gonna happen in that room because it's by request.
I love it.
But I'm not gonna just come up to you and say, you need this and you that's not how you do it.
Yeah, I take pride in that one too. I was just talking to somebody today at my job about that. Just for me, I don't get caught up in the judgment aspect of life and society. And I think, again, that's another learned behavior since we've been little to judge everything. For me, Garrain, as you know, I grew up in a Jehovah's Witness household. And I think what that taught me was, and this is not to bash Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm just speaking about my own personal experience.
Yeah.
But for me, I grew up as a little boy to judge other people that were not a part of the religion. Yeah. I was taught to even label other people as quote unquote worldly or bad, basically is what that means. And for me, Garrain, that I think a lot of people are still dealing with that today, but they don't realize it started when you were a young child.
Yeah.
And judgment is one of the lowest vibrations that you can ever experience, if not the lowest, right there next to hate, obviously. But for me, what I'm thinking about right now is the association aspect of life, because there's a lot of people that are dealing with not being able to move forward or feeling stuck in an area or feeling like they've been working their ass off and they're not really seeing results. And for me, I talk to people a lot of time and I say, who are the people you have around you?
Yeah.
You told me something earlier off camera. You said you're a testament of the 5 closest people you have around you in your life. And so the last topic that we'll talk about today is association and how powerful it is to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people with like minds and people that are looking to strive to become better. What's been your experience with that on a personal perspective in regards to association?
I have this quote that I came up with. It says, flowers that grow in bunches grow much faster together than they do by themselves. And basically what I'm saying is you can grow faster with the culture than you would just by yourself. So it's, everything is a form of language. Let's just say you want to change into something that you've never been before. Let's just say that was Spanish and you've never spoke Spanish. Well, I want you to answer this question. Exhibit A, this person who has, I'm not bashing Rosetta Stone, but who has Rosetta Stone,
Gotcha.
And they're going to Coffee Bean once a week, and they're just trying to learn Spanish after speaking English their whole life. For like 5 minutes once a week. Who's going to learn faster? This person or the person who goes over to Mexico and is around the culture.
That's right.
Is eating the food.
That's right.
Being around the smells.
On a daily.
And then comes back in the same amount of time, maybe 1 year's time. Who do you think will have the language down better?
Come on. The person who's been engulfed in the culture.
Immersed itself in the culture, and the culture is just not the language, it's the people around, it's everything.
There we go.
So success leaves clues. There's a reason why billionaires hang out with each other. Broke people hang out with each other. Overweight people who are not trying to do anything about it hang out with each other.
Facts.
Entrepreneurs hang out with each other because they're on the same frequency, speaking the same language. If I'm a radio station and I just turn it to country western, somebody that listens to gangster rap ain't gonna stop and be like, yo, that's my song.
Right.
Gonna keep going. However, if I turn it on, and then all of a sudden he gonna be like,
that's my shit.
Because it's on the same frequency. So chirp, 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 you could be speaking broke. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Negativity, chirp, chirp, chirp. Insecurity. You won't even have to have it come out of your mouth. You can be thinking negative, thinking insecure, and masking it with being secure, which still not secure because your life is going to show up how the thoughts you give the most power to.
Facts.
Which is a frequency.
Yep.
Because wherever you go, you still got to take yourself with you. You're not going to outrun your thoughts.
That's right.
So inside of that, immersing yourself in a culture of people that you're learning, that's thriving, that's growing, that's bigging people up, that's generous, that's giving back, and that they're progressive, they're entrepreneurs, they're up to something. You will be the next one. Absolutely. However, stay around long enough.
There we go.
Immerse yourself in the culture. You don't learn Spanish overnight. So if success and of course, money is the least of all values, but I'm just talking about all successes. If there's an environment that you can be around that's curated, because success has a different frequency than broke.
That's right. That's right.
Just like you go to a wealthy neighborhood and you go to the ghetto, it has the energy is different.
From the jump.
So if you can immerse yourself in that culture and be around there, learn, ask questions, just by default, it's going to rub off on you.
Yeah. And a lot of the things that people run from is making the adjustments with their current circle. Yeah. So you talk about people that are broke being surrounded by other people that are broke. In order to stop having the conversations about broke ass shit, you have to get away from the broke ass people.
A fifth grader cannot teach a fifth grader how to get out of fifth grade.
Come on,
both of y'all in the fifth grade.
Facts.
Find you a sixth grader. Be like, yo, what was the test like? Yeah. How did you study? Did you have a tutor? Yeah. And find somebody that's at another level that you can align with and start asking them questions.
There we go.
Watch them. You might listen. I got like 30 mentors who don't even know that I exist. Why? Because I never had to ask no questions.
Come on.
Because success leaves clues. I watch them, how they walk, how they talk about people when they're not in the room, how they dress, how they take notes. I be watching everything. I'm like, I don't do that. I'm going to start doing that. I don't do that. Yep. Okay, so he did like that, and that person walked away and made sure that he bowed like that. Sure, I'm about to start bowing too.
Come on now.
And so I've been mirroring. So most people got so much pride. They're like, I ain't copying him.
Like, you crazy out of your mind.
Michael Jackson.
Thank you.
Had Fred Astaire, James Brown.
Come on.
And then through that came Michael Jackson.
Facts.
I have 30 mentors. And I will come in contact with all of them.
Absolutely.
And I will say, and I met one of them already. I met Conor McGregor.
Nice.
And I told him.
Nice.
And I manifested the whole situation in 18 days. I wrote him a message one day, and I tell him to look.
Come on.
I wrote Conor McGregor a message because I love his brash personality, how he manifests everything. I wrote him a DM. In the DM, I said, one day I'm gonna meet you. And then I'm just gonna tell you how much you made a difference in my life. I'm gonna donate $1,000 to whatever charity of your choice. Boom, boom, boom. 18 days later, I have somehow found my way, and I was in.
I hope y'all listening now. Y'all gotta listen to what's going on.
In an event that I didn't know that I could be a part of, that I was asked to come. That was in Ireland.
You in there?
In Ireland, I didn't even know 2 days prior to the day going.
Come on.
And I was like, when would I have to get my ticket? Got the ticket. 2 days later, I found myself in Straight Blast Gym, just like I saw it. And I walked in the gym, 3 people in the gym. Conor McGregor's in the back. He comes up. I shake his hand. I just want to let you know how much you've inspired. Boom, 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 boom. 18 days later, pic goes up on social media. Bam.
Come on.
Now we got to get the rest of these people on this wall.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. The power of manifestation is so real. It's so real. And I have to share this before I leave. It's on my spirit to share it. And if I don't share it, then I'm selfish. I always say that. I got to say it right now. Garrain, I just went through a very powerful situation yesterday, my brother. Very powerful situation. So I'm with a newfound queen, which you don't know because it's we've been
Congratulations.
Thank you, my brother. We've been together for about a year now. And last time I seen you, I was going through my process of just self-discovery. But I'm with an amazing queen right now. And what we do is we wake up every single morning at 6 in the morning. We go on a hike at Kennethon Park. And after our hike, we meditate for 10 minutes. but we have very intentional meditation.
Yeah.
So what we do, Garrain, is we believe heavily in the law of attraction. Mm-hmm. We believe heavily in speaking things into existence, feeling things into existence, seeing things into existence. But after that, walking towards the things that we just look to create right there in the meditation. And we're talking 3 days ago, bro. I can't make this up. We're in a space right now to where we're looking to move into our first apartment together, mm-hmm. right? And so what our meditation was centered around was creating our apartment through our words and through our visualization together, collectively. Yeah. So we held hands. Garrain, I can't make this up, big dog. If she was here right now, she'd be looking at you like, yeah, it's all facts. We sat there, and it's a testament to what you just said, and this is why I'm bringing it up. People need to hear this. It's so important. We sat there in the meditation. We held hands, and she would say one thing that she would see, and I said, don't speak it until you see it. Once you see it, then you speak whatever that is. So I don't care if it's, we have a 6-piece sectional blue couch in our living room, mm-hmm. and then I'll say it. And then I'll say, we have this, and then she'll say, we have this, and we're seeing it. We probably named 40 damn things that we wanted to be involved with our spot. Why were we on a home search yesterday? Yesterday, bro. Can't make this up, Garrain. He looking at me right now because he already know the deal. Yesterday, Garrain, we looking at homes all day. We both took off work yesterday to go look at homes. And we finally pull up to the last community center that we was going to, the apartment structure. And we pull in, and we both looked at each other before we even walked inside the gate. And I told her that when we know it's the one, you'll feel an energy before anybody needs to speak anything. We walk into the property management room or wherever the case may be, where they got the computers and the desks, and the energy is out of this fucking world. The ladies immediately, oh my God, hey guys, how y'all doing? This and that. I looked at her and I said, this is the one. I said, this is the one. They took us on a tour, showed the whole thing. Bro, why when they opened the door, y'all, I'm about to get up and act a fool right now. When they opened the door, and this is on a minimal level, but I celebrate everything that I create in my mind. When they opened that door, my girl started crying immediately. It was every single thing we just spoke about yesterday. We held hands and, bro, I mean, more than what we even asked for. And one of the things that she said was, I want a bar, like a bar section attached to the kitchen, mm-hmm. where at least 2 to 3 seats can fit. We have a 6 to 7 seat bar section in that spot. And we're looking at this big ass living room and the whole nine. So I say all of this to say that our minds are extremely powerful, well beyond what we've ever been told. And I encourage people to continue to just discover new heights and new levels of consciousness. And it's so, so important. Absolutely. Garrain Jones, it's been an absolute honor, my brother. It's been an absolute honor chopping it up with you today. Really? And just seeing my guy 3 years after the first time I came into this home, I got to say it's beautiful. And it's a testament to your creativity. And it's a testament to you just saying yes. You're continuously saying yes. Even at the level you're at, mm-hmm. you're still saying yes, yes, yes. And that's what I think when I'm looking around at the crib, and when I see you, obviously from afar. You say you have 30 mentors that you've never met. You've been one of my mentors for 3 years, mm-hmm. and I don't have to pick the phone up and tell you that. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I say continue to walk in your purpose, brother. You're changing a lot of lives out there. Congratulations on the book. You have to tell the people where to get the book, my brother.
So first off, on Amazon right now, the book with no cover.
Come on.
Covers on, the title's on the back. The book with no title. It's Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life. Go on to Amazon. You can either go to my website, GarrainJones.com, but it's going to give you a link to click on Amazon. It's #1 bestseller right now. And this book right here is an everyday people's guide to understanding and having awareness of the power that lives inside of you, so that you can be aware of how to utilize it and potentially produce extraordinary results in your life. I wrote it simple and made it intentionally an easy read so that I can reach a lot of people who don't pick up books. So this is a very powerful book. It carries a lot of energy. The frequency of the pages, I allowed myself to be channeled to write this for you guys, and I cannot wait to hear about all the stories that take place in your life, because you have something and you have a friend that has your back throughout the process. So go out and Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life. We got some other projects coming on. My Change Your Mindset Youth Foundation. Got another book coming. Me and my wife are going to have a podcast.
Come on now. Oh, that's
There's
gonna be
lots
fire.
of beautiful things that are coming. So go and get this book. I'll see y'all soon. Add me on Instagram, Garrain.Jones, and then we'll take it from there.
Hey, you know we're going to make sure my guy is nice and tagged up in the video. With that being said, it's King Q, it's Garrain Jones, and you know we can't end no episodes without shouting the team out. My brother B Visuals behind the camera. The queen of the podcast, Simone, is not here today, but she's always with us. You got to understand what's going on. Again, it's King Q, it's Garrain Jones, and we out. Peace.